A super sweet welcome, everybody. Thanks for showing up for a little practice together in that wonderful spring weather we have at the moment. So let's come to sit. Happy spine, happy shoulders, happy body, happily resting in your familiar seat. This is what it's all about. Sitting with yourself. Not waiting for the silence from the outside, but noticing the silence on the inside. There's a book by a man called Juan Mascaro, who wrote an introduction to the Upanishads, some of this very famous Hindu scriptures that are very much about spiritual enlightenment. The Vedas that came before, the oldest scriptures, was very much about rituals and spiritual religious practices. But the Upanishads are really about something deeper, about spiritual enlightenment. And I love this sentence. He says, "We are told again and again that in the deep silence of the soul, man can be in union with himself, not with his transitory consciousness, not with the apparent nothingness of deep sleep, not with the vagueness of dreams, but when man is in union with the background of his consciousness, the center of his soul, then he is in one union with himself, his own self." Well, probably still waiting for that moment. Still waiting to meet my true self. I think some of us have this sort of idea that it's so different, but it's really not. Because at the end of the day, we are who we are. We already get a little bit of that essence. It just feels like that true self, that beautiful own self. Over the years, there came some schmutz and some schmear on it. It sort of covers it up, like the story of the golden Buddha covered up in clay, and then everybody forgot that there's a golden Buddha inside. Something like that. And not that it's a bad thing, things happen. At the moment, my chain is falling off every day. So let's get off and put the chain back on. Then you have all these like smutty little fingers. It was necessary in this situation to get my fingers dirty. There was no way around it. But yeah, we want to wash it off. We want to come back to who we are. It's such a funny thing for me, and maybe that's what brought it up. I saw one of those social media videos, some 20-year-old yoga teacher, that after so many years, he finally figured it out that it's so much less about asana and really about the stillness. And I was just like up to slow clap before he put the advertisement for his course there. And this has never been there. And nobody talked about, yes, love. Everybody talked about this. Yes, that's where the base is, my darling. It's so funny how much the idea of yoga changed and the culture of yoga. And I'm in the gym every day teaching 55-minute classes. I'm trying to pack in as much as I can. And I'm trying to make really, really sure that it's not about this. It's a really fun part of the practice, but it's so unimportant in a way. It's a great way to come to yourself, to the body first, because some people are so out of touch with that as well. But how often do we sit still? How often do we digest life as it is happening? You know, having those moments. Not feeling rushed, not feeling pulled in all kinds of directions. So maybe that's the worst of the physical practice. That time you spend with yourself. Something like that. Bring your hands together in front of the heart space if you're so inclined. Or coming to the center, coming to the heart space, your eternal home. Or maybe you offer this up. This practice, this time, the energy you will spend. Or maybe there's a word that can guide you through the practice, an intention, a thought, a word, a thing. Gorgeous. Let's slowly open our eyes, stretch yourself out nicely, and then find your way on to your mat. And this time we started seated. Uh, oh, no, my friends. Let's come to sit with our legs long in front, hands behind you, fingers can point away. It might make it a little easier for you to lift your chest and squeeze your shoulder blades a little together. And then at the same time, heels keep touching the floor, but you do push your heels forward. Heels stay on the floor, but you try to lengthen your legs and your chest is lifting up high for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift your gorgeous head. And then moving your hands gently down your legs, just sliding down on the side of your legs, maybe towards the ankle, maybe towards the feet with ease. Who knows? It doesn't matter. Good. And then let your chin drop very gently towards the chest. Try to touch your chin to the chest without opening your mouth. There we go. And then lifting your face and walking your hands back. Either placing your hands alongside the hips, if you can sit nice and tall. If that's difficult for you, hands a little further behind and make that spine long as before. And then we are going to point the right foot, and not just like generally in the front direction, but you push that toe towards the floor while the left foot flexes, and then we change. And then we change, and then we change. And you're going to try harder, and you step on the pedal, and you try to flex and point your feet with a nice long spine. Make it a little stronger in your feet. Move through the soles of the foot, let the toes work together. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And then flexing those feet, lengthen the spine. And then hands to the outside of the legs to slide again. Forward, 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 forward. Ankle, feet, wherever it brings you. Exhale, slowly dropping the chin towards the chest. And on an inhale, lifting your gaze, hands behind you a little further away, stepping the feet onto the mat and come into tabletop. With all that fresh energy from the very start of your practice. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lifting your head, looking forward, bringing your hips close towards your hands so you have all that space to come onto hands and knees in front. Spreading your fingers wide, broad shoulders, broad setup. Move a little bit through your own back as we do. Moving your shoulders, your hips, rolling and snaking around in that spine. And now over the weeks, you get a little bit more adventurous with things. You're playing with things. You are not put in a box. You're not following the rules. You're a rebel. Good. Find your way back into the middle. Curl the toes under and lift into first down dog. Long spine, oh, strong arms, open armpits. That's all a given. Now let your head relax a little bit more in between your arms. Use the weight of your head. And then bring your focus towards your legs. See if there's something you want to walk out. Want to bend and stretch. But don't forget with all the movements and the warming up to really notice how they feel, where they're at. How long can they be? How long do they feel? And then on your next inhale, coming forward to a high push-up plank. Knees down, lower yourself onto your belly, and let your hands float 1 centimeter, 1 inch off the floor, just that you're not making contact. Lengthen the legs, press the feet a little harder so your legs are really engaged. And then we are lifting the chest, of course, broad shoulders. Pure back muscle strength. On your next exhale, placing the hands down and lift 1 centimeter higher, still feeling your back muscles working. So it's not about pushing yourself up. Exhale, lower down. One more time, do the same thing. Hands slightly off the mat, shoulders away from the ears, super long neck. Feet, legs, a little bit more fired up and engaged. And then lifting that chest with your hands floating. Good. So you feel your back muscles. So it's not about going higher. It's about training your back muscles to go themselves 1 centimeter further. So bring the hands down and show the back muscles where you want them to go. Exhale, lower down. Bring it back to hands and knees. Exhale back into down dog. And then walking our feet forward towards the very top of the mat. Head down, chin to the chest. Cool. Then soft knees, roll yourself up through the spine, head and shoulders coming up last. And then placing your hands happily in front of the chest. All very relaxed, shoulders, arms is all good. Your hands, your thumbs want to connect to the middle of your chest. That's all. Good. Finding that midline within your body, from the line in between your feet, through the middle of your body, through the crown of your head. Good. Not too far forward, not too far back. Finding the center. Wherever you are in your breath, exhale through the nose. On the inhale, reaching your arms out and up, creating space. Exhale, fold forward and down, nice and deep, hands to the floor. Inhale, a half lift. Exhale, step both feet back to down dog for 3 breaths. Inhale forward to a high push-up plank. Exhale, lower down onto the floor, reach your arms back. Inhale, lift everything off the floor. Exhale back into down dog. 1 breath here in.
Exhale, bend your knees, look in between your hands, slightly step or hop forward. Exhale, long legs, navel in, fold deeply onto your legs. Inhale, arms circle up, reach into the sky. Exhale, hands find their way back to the heart space. Inhale, arms reach up, big circles with those arms. Exhale, fold down deep. Inhale, half lift. Step both feet back. Exhale, down dog. Again, 3 breaths. You decide if your body wants to go deeper and further. On an inhale, coming forward to a high push-up plank. Exhale, lower down onto the floor, reach your arms back. Inhale, lift everything, stay here. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen that body. Exhale back into down dog. 1 breath here in. And exhale. Right leg lifts up high. Right foot steps forward, big step. Inhale, rising up. Exhale to deepen, possibly. Or next, exhale. Bringing both hands down to the mat, right foot steps back, sitting bones lifting up high. Inhale forward to a high push-up plank. Exhale, lower down onto the floor, reach your arms back. Inhale, lift everything. Stay for the exhale. Full inhale. Stay for one more exhale. In. Exhale, bring it back into down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts up high. Exhale, left foot steps forward, big step. Inhale, rising up. And while you're standing there so beautifully, let me repeat to you these 4 words. Silence of the soul. Right, guys, you look beautiful. Then on your next exhale, hands down, left foot back to down dog. 1 breath here in. Exhale, bend your knees, keep your butt up high and float forward. Exhale to fold forward and down. Inhale, arms reach up, circle up. Exhale, hands in front of the chest, heart space. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, half lift. And then again, stepping both feet back to down dog. 1 deep breath here in and out. Inhale forward to a high push-up plank. Bringing your right forearm, elbow to the floor. Roll onto the outside of your right foot, left leg on top, flexing both feet strongly, lifting left arm up high. And then as a little addition, lifting the left leg off the right leg. No big turning out, nice and parallel. Exhale, bring it onto both of your forearms into a low plank. Try to hold it. If you need to shorten the plank, work from your knees, but don't lift your hip too much. Keep the line between shoulders and knees. or shoulders and feet super long. Then changing into the left side, left forearm parallel to the front, right leg on top of the left leg, right arm reaches up high, lifting the hip, and then possibly as a little addition, lifting the right leg off the left leg, holding the core. Back into low plank onto both of your forearms, setting your hands onto the floor and slowly lift, pull back into a down dog, worthy of your attention. Inhale, right leg lifts up high. Exhale, right foot steps forward, quick step. Inhale, rising up. Interlacing fingers behind your head. Lifting your chest, opening your elbows a little wider, possibly pressing your head a little bit into your hands. Just crack open that heart. Yes. On your next exhale, simply release the arms. Left arm in front of the body, over to the right, hooking right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Left palm presses into right. Deep twist. If you need your back knee on the mat, that's fine. Yes. And then slowly extending. Left arm down, right arm up. Linke arm naar beneden, rechte arm naar boven. Thank you very much. El brazo izquierda abajo. Good, okay. On an exhale, look down, hands to the mat, step it back into down dog. That was really nice. Very good. Shake it. Shake it out. Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale forward, high push-up plank. Knees, chest, chin. Not aiming to bring the elbows down, but the chest. Inhale, upward facing dog, very fired up. And exhale to down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts up high. Exhale, left foot steps forward, big step. Inhale, high lunge. Anjaneyasana. Interlacing the fingers behind the head. Lifting the chest, opening the elbows if you so like. Just to really engage a little bit the muscles around your shoulder blades and stuff. There you go. Maybe if we do a long enough this posture, the sun will come out. Just be ready for it, like Field of Dreams. Good. On your next exhale, releasing your arms, and the right arm reaches over in front of your body, long arm. So we create that links to hook the elbow to the outside of left thigh, left palm into right, pushing hands towards the center of your chest, gazing over left shoulder, while the right leg is pushing down into the floor strongly. Nice. Sabine, don't roll your shoulder in. Hug the wall, knuffel naar de muur. Good, and then extending right arm down, left arm up. Hey, you don't have to get angry about it. It's fine, it's okay. It's the least of your problems. You can see the anger from the back of your heads. Good, okay. Looking down onto the mat, bringing both hands down, step it back into down dog. Good, great. One last time, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, high push-up plank. Knees, chest, chin, arching the back. Upward facing dog. Exhale back into down dog. And one more time, exhale, bend your knees, look in between your hands. Inhale, hop forward into a little half lift. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, arms circle up, reach into the sky. Exhale, hands in front of the heart space. And like last week, bringing your hands up together, pressing your hands together, looking at your thumbs. And as your hands are pulling towards the ceiling at the same time, bend your knees, pull the hip back. Utkatasana, chair pose. Good. Now, if it's uncomfortable in the back of your neck, of course, look forward. But if you could, look at your thumbs. On an exhale, hands down, lengthen up the legs. Half lift, inhale to step or jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, strong fingers here. Exhale back into down dog. Right leg lifts up high, inhale. Right foot steps forward, left heel circles down, warrior one. Inhale. Slow breath. On your next exhale, open into warrior two. A warrior two worthy of your time. Arms are purposeful. That means they are not just lifted into the air, they are reaching towards the wall in front and the wall behind you. Like everything else in this universe, your body likes purpose. Then reach the right arm forward. Place your right hand onto the inside of your right leg. Left arm reaches up high. Take a moment to allow that left shoulder to fall a little backwards. There we go. Either extending left arm over your head, or if you prefer, come to the bind. Right hand meeting left hand or left wrist. Oof. On your next exhale, looking down, and then slowly lengthen the right leg out. If you're still in the bind, great. If not, you're coming into Trikonasana. Left arm reaches up high. Those legs long. Either in the bind or open, spread out wings. On an exhale, looking down, bend right knee. Losing the hands, hands to the floor. Exhale back into downward. Inhale, left leg lifts up high. Left foot steps forward, right heel circles in and down. Warrior one. Let your body pull you in all these different directions. On your next exhale, open wide into Warrior Two, resetting your feet as necessary to open both hips strongly. Ever heard the expression fake it till you make it? Yes. Everything you do is deliberate. And if you have no idea what's going on, like me most days, then you just pretend the fuck out of it. You're just pretending you know what you're doing. Good. Make it look like it's deliberate. Like now, reaching your left arm forward. Left hand down, right arm up high. Good. And then you choose classic extended Barsvakonasana, or if you prefer, aim for the bind. Also in the bind, of course, we are looking back over our right shoulder up towards the ceiling. Exhale, looking down to left foot and then pressing your left foot strongly into the floor until that left leg is nice and long and energized. Either you are still in the bind, looking back up over your right shoulder, or if you prefer full Trikonasana triangle posture, that's fine too. Exhale, looking down, bend left knee, loose your hands, bring the hands to the floor and step it back into a downward dog. Inhale forward to a high push-up plank. Exhale, lower down completely onto the floor. Roll the shoulders back, inhale, cobra. See if it leads you somewhere else. Exhale, lower down. From here, bring it back to hands and knees. And exhale back into down dog. Walking your hands towards your feet. Either pressing your hands flat to the floor or more towards the side of your feet. If you want to hold on to your toes, ankles, or step onto the palms of your hands for this forward fold, go for it. Either way, from all these different positions, on an inhale, lift that chest away from your feet. Lengthen the spine as much as you can. Draw the lower abdominals in, exhale, folding down. On your next exhale, soft knees, freeing your hands, and then rolling yourself gently out to come to stand. Well, at least I amuse myself. Good. Take a big step to the long side of your yoga mats. Okay. And a little space for those legs. Good. Arms out, palms forward. That's what I mean with hugging. Not turning away, opening your shoulders. From here, slowly folding forward. And you notice, wait before you go, the tendency, the automatic tendency is, of course, to bring the butt back a lot. Try to keep your hips in between your legs. And try to tilt forward, holding the weight. Imagine there is a stick bound to your arms, at the back of your arms. So when you move the right hand slowly down, left arm reaches up high. Very much like a Dutch windmill. When your right hand is right under you, look up towards your left hand. And if you like a little extra detail, pull your right hip back until your hip is squared out. Mhm. And then slowly allow your right hip to sink again, left hip a little higher, just to notice the sensation. Exhale, bring your left hand down. Bend your knees to let your belly drop very fully in between your thighs, in between your legs, placing the hands onto the mat, and then pushing your feet hard into the floor, lifting your sitting bones up high. Lengthen your legs out. On your next inhale, walking your hands under your shoulders. Then very strongly engage your legs, engage your core so you can reach your arms out as we did before. Deep inhale. Exhale, circle the left hand down while the right arm reaches up high and look to your right hand. Yes. For a moment, you can level your hips, squaring your hips out, just to tighten that twist a little bit. As we know, they're not necessarily wrong movements. So if you allow your right hip to lift and your left hip to sink, just notice where you feel it. Yes, exhale, right hand down. From here, again, bending your knees, dropping the belly in between your thighs. If you want, interlace your fingers behind the back, let the arms drop. Or maybe you prefer a hidden prayer. Ooh. Either way, wherever your hands are, start to push your feet so hard into the floor that your legs start to lengthen out. On your next inhale, lift your chest halfway, hands to the hips, strong legs. Exhale, lift up high. Cool. And then from here, turning your right toes to the short side of the mat, bend your right knee. Left hand stays already in your hip, right hand outside right foot. Then shift, hop your weight forward into our half moon. Always working with everything we got. Good. Then slowly, little change. Bend your knees, bend your elbows. Make it a little smaller, a little compressed. Pull everything in without losing your fingers on the floor, of course. And then one more time, inhale, extend everything out. Exhale, bend right knee and step your left foot behind you. Did I lose you? So it's getting small and spreading out and getting small and spreading out. Same other side. Right leg long. Turn on your heels. Bend left knee. Body is open in warrior two. Right hand into right hip. Left hand outside left foot. Shift forward. Half moon Ardha Chandrasana. So remember, if you only try to lift your limbs into the air without any action, it's so heavy. So now bend those knees, bend the elbows. Make it short, compress, and then push and lengthen out. Inhale. Exhale, bend left knee, step right foot behind you. And then lengthen both legs out. All toes pointing towards the long side of the mat. Bend your knees, fingers to the floor. Bend knees, lifting the hips one last time. Ooh. Pushing your feet hard into the floor. There we go. Bend your knees deeply. Hands to the top of your mat again. Exhale back into down dog. Right knee under the body towards the outside of the mat. Single-legged pigeon posture. And then come to sit up. Be as well or as much right above your hips as you can. Pushing your legs a little bit more actively into the floor. You can keep your fingers on the floor. You could bring your hands in front of the heart. And you can also reach your arms up. Up means either over your head or behind your head. Both legs keep pushing into the floor, giving you a little sensation of lifting away from the floor. Exhale. Now hands down and fold forward. Pigeon pose. Let some nice, deep, juicy breath come in and out, nice and slow. And let the control go. Trust your breath that it knows what it does. One more deep breath in. Placing our hands back under our shoulders as good as we can. Bringing your right hand into the middle of the mat, supporting you in the middle. So you have the left arm free to reach back, to bend left knee, to take left foot, to bring it a little closer. And then those of you who feel fairly comfortable with this, allow yourself, your torso, to come a little higher again over your hips. If you're like me, leaning forward a lot. Maybe, just maybe, shortening the space between torso and back leg. Ah, very sweetly, letting the left foot go. Hands to the mat. Tuck left toes under. And step right foot back. Then bringing your forearms onto the mat. Interlace your fingers if you like, but soft interlace. Let your head drop in between your arms. If you have a little more space to step the feet a little further forward in dolphin, go ahead. And then right leg starts to lift up towards the ceiling. Turn the hip open and reach your right leg a little higher. Slowly bringing the right foot down. Coming back onto your hands. And then left knee pulls under the body and towards the outside of the mat. Pushing your legs a little deeper into the floor, a little stronger, a little bit more engaged. Possibly walking our hands back, bringing our body a little bit more on top of the hips. If you want, you can bring your hands in front of the heart. If you want, you can reach your arms up. And if you want, you can reach your arms a little back. Exhale. Hands to the floor. Lengthen the torso forward. Placing our hands back on our shoulders, lifting the torso, left hand into the middle of the mat, right arm reaches back, bend right knee, see if you can take and hold the foot and bring it possibly a little closer. And just in case that should feel comfortable enough, we're just playing again with the idea of bringing a little bit more torso above our hips. We could simply hook that foot into our right armpit. Good, very sweet. Gently letting go off the back foot, tucking your right toes under so we can navel engage, lift back into a brand new down dog. Then bringing our forearms to our mats. Interlace the fingers if you so like, dolphin. Pushing your forearms into the floor. Head dangles between your upper arms. Possibly walk the feet a little further forward. Long spine, active posture. And then we lift the left leg. And at the highest point, you start to turn the hip out. Pull your legs a little further apart. And left foot down onto the floor. Ooh. Hands to the mat. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then come to sit on your mat. With legs long in front. Taking a little flash, taking a little flash, taking a little flash. Good. Bring the right knee in. And then you have the option, comfort level, to open into Janu Sirsasana, right leg on the inside, or for those who want, just the option to come into a half lotus. Bringing that right foot nice and high towards your inner left hip crest. Okay. Again, it shouldn't hurt in the good. Left leg a little fired up. And as soon as you start to engage your leg and your quads, you might feel like, oh, this is going to be different. Good. And then we reach forward. Maybe feeling your right heel in your belly. A lot of pressure on your quadriceps. Again, if it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. You can always change. Slowly rising back up. Setting your right foot onto the floor, right in front of your hips. So there's about a hand width space in between left leg and right leg. And then just adding a little twist, right hand behind you, left hand simply pulls on that right knee, and you twist back. Set your right foot a little closer again, so the knee is nice and closed, and then coming into a half hero. Maybe you need to move a little flesh out from your calf, or maybe you need to sit a little higher. That's fine, yeah? Put a blanket, a pillow under your butt. And again, the version that doesn't work for you, you just go back to the version that helped you. Because we're of course going to one more time, go forward. Ah. Reaching. If you need your left hand somewhere on the outside, so you're not rolling over this left side, that's okay, huh? And maybe you don't. Slowly getting ready to come back. Bringing left foot inside right leg, or possibility here as well, into a half lotus. Now on the other side. So either inside of the leg, like a little mermaid, like a little deer, or maybe into half lotus, Bharadvaja Asana. Then turning your spine, your chest towards the left. Left hand either behind you, or maybe left hand reaches to hold right foot, or left foot, or left ankle. Good. Your right hand can push into the left leg, and you follow the spiral. Bharadvaja Asana twist. Now on your next exhale, only your head turns to the right, bringing your chin over your right shoulder as much as you can for 3, 2, 1. Bring it back, unfold, left leg gently forward, right leg gently forward. Hands behind, next to your hip or behind you, but long spine, sitting tall. And then one more time, flex, point, but a little stronger, a little stronger. Cat making biscuits, pushing in and 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 pushing in. 4, 3, harder, 2, 1, good. Now, right leg stays long, left knee comes in. From here, Janu Sirsasana, or coming into a half lotus. Today I'm giving out half lotus like it's 3. Good. And then sitting nice and tall and reaching forward. Slowly getting ready to come out. Ooh. Gently bringing left foot onto the mat, a hand width from the right leg. Everything is fired up and nice and parallel. Left hand behind you, sitting tall. Right hand pulls on left knee, follow that twist towards your left shoulder. On your next exhale, turn yourself back forward. Lean over to the right side. We're stepping the foot closer in to close the knee. And then moving into a half hero. Aiming to sit strongly on both sitting bones, not just the right. Good. And forward. The only way is forward. On your next inhale, use your hands. Lift yourself back up. Bending the right knee to set your right foot on the inside of your left thigh, or a little half lotus. Then follow the direction, turning towards the right. Maybe right hand behind you, maybe right hand holding right foot, and left hand presses into the outside of that right leg. Then follow the spiral back and up, sitting tall, longer spine, longer spine. If you don't lengthen your spine, you just look like you're waiting for a bus. Good. Then on your next exhale, just the head turns towards that left shoulder for 4, 3, 2, 1, and gently release everything to the front, to the front. Good. From here, bending those knees. Hands behind you. And yes, I will let you butterfly, but whatever is touching on the inside of your feet, full foot, full sole of the foot, or maybe it's like a book and it's a little bit open, that's fine too, but whatever is touching, press it actively against each other and keep that pressure while you're butterfly. Now the butterfly got a little smaller because your muscles are engaged. Yes. Cool. Then from here, hands towards the ankle, or if you prefer outside of the feet, relaxing the spine, Baddha Konasana. Allow your knees to pull down towards the floor, and at the same time, tilting that pelvis still forward, splitting the middle. That's the work. Good. And then folding forward. Baddha Konasana. Well, and yet if you start to sense that your forehead is resting comfortably on the floor in front of your feet, maybe it's time to shift your chest off the feet and bring the belly on your feet. Good. Cool. And slowly lift your head, lift your chest. And let's move our legs out. Oh, knock. Okay. I'm falling apart and I have it on record. Ah, okay. I think it was a good clap. Okay, good. So you have your legs out, either in a V shape or a little wider, according to your hips. You can still move that flesh. You can still move that flesh. 2 forward folds. First, turn to the left leg and reach forward to that left leg. Maybe right hand to the outside of that left foot. Maybe right here on top of left leg. Without too much lifting of the right hip though. Then slowly, hands to the mat, lift yourself back up. Over, long spine, to the right leg. And then slowly, reaching forward. Ooh, that works well. Maybe left hand to the outside of the right leg, right foot. And if that works well, maybe left ear towards the the right leg. Jesus. Slowly come back out. And then good news, just bringing those legs together. Final one, Paschimottanasana. Just for the fun of it, maybe in the image of washing some schmutz and dirt of our true self. Bring your hands to the outside of the legs. And then sliding the hands down the curves of your lovely legs towards your ankles, towards your feet. As soon you have your desired grip, inhale, relengthen the spine, draw your lower abdominals really strongly in, and exhale, fold onto your legs. Paschimottanasana. Three more breaths. Slowly lift and rise up. Hands next to your hips. Then you shift your weight forward enough by bending the knees and lifting into a tabletop. Was a lot of forward bending, so now, even if you don't necessarily manage to bring your hip up higher than your knees or something, at least imagine that the line from knees to shoulders becomes longer and longer and longer. Yes. And then looking forward and bring your hips a little closer towards your feet so we can set up for Halasana, plow posture. If today is not a day for you to roll over your shoulder, your neck, stay here, soles of your feet together, knees bent out, arms framing lovely your head. Beautiful little goddess posture, Supta Baddha Konasana. Just wait here. Everybody else, arms alongside the body. Bringing your body over your shoulders and extending your legs behind your head, setting the toes on. Now don't collapse in your legs and your hip. Lifting your thighs, lifting your hips. Maybe rolling the shoulders a little bit more under, Halasana, posture. Placing your hands into your lower back. Then lifting your legs one after the other or goes together. If you want to extend the line a little bit more, same as in tabletop, we want to make the line from your ankles to your shoulders as long as possible, as straight as possible. So there's a little pushing the hips forward if you feel the necessity. I don't mind a good king in the head. Yes, so you decide. Then flex both your feet. Keep your right leg pushing into the ceiling and lower your long left leg, letting your toes reach to the space behind your head on the floor. Maybe tap it. And then slowly and controlled and deliberate, lifting the left leg. And then left leg pushes into ceiling, right leg lowers down. Maybe tipping the toes behind your head to the floor. And bring it back up. One more time, left leg. Flex that foot, reach the toes towards the floor, and lift it back up, level that hip. Right foot flexes, right foot pushes to the floor, and bring it back up. And then those legs together, slowly lower down back into Halasana, plow posture. And then everybody slowly allow your knees to bend next to your ears if you're so inclined. Then lift your knees away from the floor, lengthen the legs, palms onto the mat. Slowly roll your spine down onto the mat, hips down onto the mat, legs down onto the mat. And then finishing off this little sequence with our fish pose, Matsya Asana, pushing your elbows into the floor, lifting the chest super strongly. Open throat. Kinarborst, chin to the chest. Lay on your back. Final twist. Right leg over left leg. Maybe hooking right foot behind left calf. Your choice. Let knees drop to the left. And allow your right arm, right shoulder to stay heavy on the floor. 5 breaths. For next exhale. Pull yourself back onto the mat. Unfold, possibly refold your legs. Knees now drop to the right. Heavy left shoulder, heavy left arm. Exploring the exhale. Exploring if your exhale gives you just an extra little layer of depth. Giving up the resistance. And then slowly roll your hips back and then get your Shavasana gear to spread yourself out completely onto your mat. Ah. Now we like to remind people that Shavasana is, of course, same as any other asana. It's just funny that you, for the other asanas, don't need so much stuff, isn't it? Good. Relax, be comfortable, please. Very nice.
Just a moment to come out of that lovely silence. Silence in your body. Move your fingers, your toes, stretch yourself out if you need to. And then we step the feet back onto the mat and find our nice roly-poly way to come into our final seat. Yay. Let me assure you how grateful I am that you let me limber you up for this weekend, the weekend of the royalists, orange flags and poffertjes and bitterballen and all that. Bring your hands together in front of the heart space. We are bowing down to all the teachers, but especially the one within, our own inner voice. Om Bolo Shri Satguru Bhagavan Ki Jai! Victory! Good. Bowing down to ourselves. Good, you deserve a bow. You did great. Thank you so much for indulging. And again, super fun weekend for each and every one, whatever you might do, doesn't matter. Just remember, barely any white person looks good in orange. Just saying. Good. I thank you very much for indulging. Have a good one. Love you. I'm here next week. I hope to see you then as well. Bye, guys. Thanks so much.
Take care. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Hip, hip, hooray.